Hello, my friends. Welcome back. It's the end of year 5 of our fancy little experiment here as I scratch my head. Last time, our most valuable player was Heino Goodmanson at $5 million. Our least valuable was Jason Duncan with $1 million, despite having the most U20 caps at 33, and I think winning like the Golden Glove Award and like the U20 Championship, something like that. Kind of curious. Richmond's got him really like locked in there. We had our first quasi, outside of the United States move where we had Heino Goodmanson went on loan to Mainz, but he's still owned by Toronto, and he was on 1.8K a week, has not gotten a raise. Chris Carpenter was our least paid player at 1.6K, despite having a value of more than $1 million more than Jason Duncan on $3,500 a week. Everybody was on a first-team or key player contract except for Chris Carpenter on rotation with Montreal. So now that you're caught up there, let's go take a look. I've not taken a look. This is 5 years in the future. I just did this. All right, my friends. We're going to start with Chris Carpenter. Rotation contract, Montreal, 1.6K. Oh! 6.5 up to 4.2 million. My friends, I have popcorn. I don't know why I'm showing that to you. Yeah, he's gotten a little bit of some love from the team. So he went from 1.6K to 6.5. He made 33 appearances, 3 goals on a 6.77. I mean, he's a right fullback, right? So it's not prolific, but fair enough to him, right? He has 2 more U20 caps, and he's on the first team contract. Let's see, what's the... Okay, clubs in continental competition can buy him for $12 million. If they get relegated, $6 million. Are they going to get relegated? Because that would make it interesting, wouldn't it? Because he's worth 4.2. No, they are safe. Chicago is going down. We'll have to see how that impacts Chris Askew here, but they are safe on 17th. So you got a bonus, yada, yada, yada. He's good until he's got a 2-year deal. He signed it kind of in the middle of the season, like the first third of the season. Okay. Not really. The crossing hasn't really improved all that much. Hopefully you would think with the 33 appearances now, some of the stuff is really going to start improving. But man, going from 1.6 to 6.5K, what is that? 4.9K a week, and his value has doubled exactly from 2.1 to 4.2 million. Congrats, Chris. Maybe, right? All right, let's go look at Chris Askew, since he was with the Chicago Fire, still is, but they are getting relegated. Okay, they paid 1.9 million for him last time. He's on 3.8K, so he's almost doubled to $7 grand on a key player contract. His value's gone from 3.1 to 4.7 to contract. Oh, he's got a $3.8 million relegation clause. They are going down. That's going to make it interesting. Is he going to... It doesn't say he's concerned. Like, I did look at that correctly, right? Chicago Fire, 21st, should be going down. They played 42 games. They played all the games. So they're going to get relegated. Is he going to stick with them? That'll be interesting to see. He has not gotten... Obviously, he's 21 now, so he has no senior caps. He had some youth... The youth caps didn't change. So he's gone up on the wages. He's gone up on the value. And he's got the exact same rating as he had the last time, which is like 41 appearances. He's played in all but 1 game, 7 goals, 5 assists. So that'll be... I want to know in the comments, do you think Chris Askew is going to leave or be bought? If he's valued at 4.7 and his relegation clause is 3.8 and they're getting relegated, is somebody going to snap him up? And if so, is it going to be somebody from the US or somebody from Europe? That'll be interesting to find out. Let's go to Jason Duncan. What has happened with our friend? He has made a move, my friends. He has escaped Richmond. He's on 3.5K. He's now on 5K, so he's got a 1,500 per week raise. His value has more than doubled from $1 million to 2.4. He got 2 more U20 caps to, I guess, round out his career. Key player contract, 20 appearances, 20 allowed, 6 shutouts, 6 saves, tipped, parried, held, okay, 6.7. The Philadelphia Union, what level? They're the Premier League level. Did they sell? They sold him in the middle of the season, so kind of like the January transfer window time frame, right? It's like 50-50, 18 appearances. Let's look at what happened to Richmond. Are they going down? No, Richmond's coming back up. Interesting. If we look at their... So they've been in first place the entire time. So it's not like they had a dip and then they offloaded their goalkeeper and suddenly did better. And then the Philadelphia Union, I don't think they were one of the relegated ones. No, they're 16th. So 16th and 17th. We've got players on kind of the bottom tier-ish of the top tier in the U.S. pyramid. So they bought him, threw him right into the side. He's the starter. Interesting. And his contract has a $4 million relegation clause and an $8 million foreign clubs clause. Again, he's worth 2.4. So I'm going to think Jason's going to be there a while, because even if they get relegated at like after next season, his value hasn't gone up that much. But we're going to have to see, like 35 U20 caps is a lot. So it seems to me like he was the goalkeeper for the under 20 team. Is he going to make a break into the senior team at some point just to get him a cap, to get him into the system? Because I know goalkeepers tend to peak later on, like, in their 30s or whatever. But will they get him a cap in between now and then? I mean, this seems to have gone up a little bit. I'm not tracking that extensively. Maybe I should have written down every single attribute, but I haven't. But I think that's going to get 2 more caps to his name, and then he got the big move. Interesting stuff. And again, they paid $3.8 million for him, so a little bit of an overpay based on his value, but maybe there were some clauses built in, something like that. Okay, Josh Doler, San Jose had paid $1.5 million. He's still with San Jose. His value has gone from 2.6 to 4.7. Big jump for everybody in this episode, from 4.7K to 6.25K. So that's what, another $1.5 grand. Key player contract. He was on a first team contract, so they've locked him in as a key player for them. 28 appearances in the championship, 7 goals, 5 assists on a 6.84. Again, nobody's absolutely crushing it with a 7.0 rating, but again, with the AI, maybe that's not really an option. His contract has a minimum release clause of 10.75, and that's just for domestic clubs on higher division. So somebody theoretically from Europe could come in for him if they were interested. They paid $1.5 million. He's up to 4.7 in value. They've gotten good value from that. So let's see, 7. Yep, no more caps. He aged out of that, but he's not gotten a sniff with the senior team. So we'll have to see what happens there with Josh. Zabu Nation, Seattle paid $3.2 million. He is still there on a key player contract. He was on a first team contract, so he signed a new one. He's gone from $4 grand to 6.25, so up 2.25. His value is 1.9. He's up to 4 million, so his value is more than doubled. And he's gotten 3 more senior caps. He had 2 caps, so they've capped him as a center back, 6'4". I mean, strength is 19. I know that was not the case, and his reputation, I don't remember him having a fairly good reputation. So that's really interesting, because they bought him originally and had him on 4 grand on a hot prospect contract. Maybe they're just letting him develop. Then he gets a first team contract. Now he's gotten the key player contract, and look at that. He's like superhero, Zabu. Nice job, sir. 36 appearances, played in pretty much all the games, 6 games out, 6.63, not the best. And again, I haven't paid attention. Where did Seattle finish? I know they weren't one of the ones that got relegated. 3rd place, based on goal differential. So they're in, I suppose, Champions League, something like that. Competition. His contract has an $8 million release clause, and it expires in a little more than a year. He signed the deal at the beginning part of the season, and they've locked him up for 2 more years. But he's worth $4 million, so it's not going from 4 to 8 is a big jump, but maybe it's a little odd to me that nobody's interested in these players, but maybe they just need to continue to develop a little bit longer. So Zabu Nation, Superman, super strong, something like that. All right, Kim Hanson, New York Red Bulls. Okay, they paid $6.5 million, $8.25 million. Sorry, because I forgot they had the add-ons there. 39 appearances, a goal, 2 assists on a 6.67, 34 really in the league with 5 subs. Okay, fair enough. Defensive midfielder, 5.75K, was on 3.7K. No caps with the senior team, obviously aged out of the U20 groups. 18 and 17 on the stamina and strength. That's, I think, an improvement for him. His contract is through 2025, so he just signed a new deal. That's interesting, with an $8 million release clause. So they kind of locked him up, but I mean, his value is going up. You could argue it's pretty close. Somebody could come in there. He's on a first-team contract, which is what he was on last time. So they've locked him up for another 3 years. They just did it a couple months ago. Interesting times. And Red Bulls didn't get... I should probably just look at the teams. Real Salt Lake, Chicago, and Phoenix got relegated. So they ended up 12th, middle of the table. But big wage rises for everybody. He was on 3-point subs. So was that a $2,000 and what is that? $50 a week, something like that. Math. But his value's gone up just a fuzz from 4.8 to 5.25. All right, last but not least, Heino Goodman. Oh, I forget every time because I did this all in one lump. Like I just vacationed it for several years in a row. So now I've only done 5 years, so I haven't gone any further in the future. So Heino's now on the list in the future, not gone anywhere. He's up to $8,000. He was at 1.8K. He was the one we were saying, like, wow, he got the move to Germany for the loan, but he's not gotten a wage rise, which was a bit odd. His value's only got up, what is that, 750,000 from 5 million, but his wages have gone from 1.8 grand to 8 grand. He is officially the baller of the group. 21. He had 4 senior caps and a goal. He has now 1 more cap, so nothing too crazy there. Ooh. What happened? 2 starts, 5 subs on a 6.83 on a first-team contract. How is that possible? Did he get injured? Oh, okay. So October, he goes out for 8 months, jumping in training. So when did he sign the contract? Oh, he just signed it. So that's interesting. So he goes out, he gets injured in October, and then when did he return? 8 months for October is November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. Like that's Am I reading this correctly? 2021, it's 22. Okay, so he would have just have come back, but in the midst of all that, they offer him a contract. No clauses built in, like relegation clauses or anything like that. So I'm wondering if while he was injured, somebody came along and was like, this guy's a good value. He's injured. We'll take him off your hands. And he was like, hey, I want to go over there. And then they shut it down by offering him more than 4 times his current wages. And it's only a 2-year deal. So it's not like, I mean, he just signed the contract in, was that March? And he has not, it's not like a 3-year deal. So it's only a 2-year deal. We'll have to see how Heino does, because he's had some injuries, you know, double hernia out for, I mean, that's only 5 weeks. The 8 months thing is obviously, that's huge. And not many appearances. So that's really interesting to see, like, how that's going to turn out for, you know, his career. Is he going to get snapped up by somebody else, or is he going to be content making $8,000 a week sitting in Toronto? I'm also curious. Obviously, he's been out so long. He's been out of the setup, so it's kind of a miracle he got that 5th cap. Maybe it was in last summer before he got injured. But maybe moving forward, will he get more caps, or will the injury kind of like slow him down? Reputation's gone up a little bit. I think that's really interesting. So we had Jason Duncan with the move, and that's really it. And then a major injury to Heino Goodmanson. Let's look at the salaries. $8,000, $7,000. So now the lowest earner is Jason Duncan, even though he just got his big move. That's a little tragic. And most value, Heino Goodmanson, Kim Hanson with the jump. Interesting. None of these are... No, okay, I missed. Chris Askew is wanted by the Portland Timbers from the Chicago Fire. So that's... Okay, I want your thoughts in the comments. Is Portland going to snap him up because of his value being greater than his release clause, because they're going to get relegated? Or is somebody else going to come in for him? Do you think any of these other players is going to make a move? That'll be interesting to see. I want to show you real quick because I don't think I did it in the last one. Let's just show you really quick just the divisions. You can pause this. I'm going to move really quickly, but you can pause this to see if where your team has ended up. This is the end of year 5. So Toronto winning it, Orlando City with a nice jump, Seattle and Portland and Atlanta all near the top. Real Salt Lake, Chicago, Phoenix. I was going to see if there's anybody that like doesn't belong up here, but these look all like current MLS teams. Although, who are Phoenix? Phoenix Rising FC from the 3rd division. Well, you know what I'm saying. The what was it? What do we call it? The championship was their first season. They got promoted to it. So championship team kind of bounced up and down, but they are on their way back down. Richmond, who has been on a bit of a I mean, to be fair, they got promoted to the championship and then up and then down, and now they're coming back up. So that's interesting. Sacramento, San Jose Earthquakes have gone down. New England Revolution stuck down here in the championship and have been since the beginning. They have not recovered from their initial relegation. Brad Friedel, you know, Lee Win issues there. I was going to see if there's anybody else that kind of stands out. Cincinnati down here in 12th. Wonder if they're still pulling the big cross. Oklahoma City going back down. Tampa Bay has made a heck of a run, right? No, that's completely wrong. They've always been in the championship. I thought they were lower for some reason. Providence City FC have gone up, up, and up. They started in Snap-on Conference 2, so they have made, I mean, continual promotions. Congrats to they're going to be in the championship the next season. Jacksonville, Charleston, Puerto Rico, the Cosmos, sad day. Chicago Magic, Ottawa. Okay, so again, you can pause this if you want to find your team. Baltimore Armor has made a bit of a bounce up and down. Can't remember, one of our players started there. Long Island, Wilmington. Okay, Delco, Richmond United, LA Legends. I'm always looking for the Seahorses. Where are the Seahorses? Oakwood, Ocean City, Mississippi. Scott Gallagher, Missouri. That just stands out to me because of the guy who just signed for Werder Bremen. U.S. 18-year-old. It'll come to me later as soon as I'm done recording. Westchester, FC Buffalo, Boston Bolts. Where are the Brooklyn Italians? Brooklyn Italians, where are you, my friends? Okay, you've not escaped. Okay, the Seahorses came up and have come back down. So they were here. Conference 1 got relegated. Conference 2, and they're slowly falling down, unfortunately. Nashville FC down here, the pre-MLS team. And last but not least, Empire, Vardar, Brooklyn Italians. They're going back up. Have they bounced around? No, this is their first promotion. Congrats to them. Okay, I was just going to see if was there anybody with like horrifically bad points. So 80 points on the top, 23 on the bottom, 29 and 60, 16, that's pretty rough, and 52, 16 and 69, 18 and 49, 19 and 59, 26 and 78. So wide ranges here. Whoop, sorry about that. I clicked one extra time. And is there anything else we need to look at from like the cups or anything like that? Surely one of these teams has won a cup and I can just find it here. MLS Cup, Premier League, Lamar. The US Open Cup. Let's go look at that real quick. And past winners. All right, so the San Jose Earthquakes win it the first year. Sporting Kansas City, Toronto FC, Rio Grande Valley in the championship, coming all the way from, okay, they started out in the championship. This is pre this database. But congrats to them. Championship team winning the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup. Okay, I've rambled on enough. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. Let me know, do you think one of those players is going to make a move? Chris Askew with the Chicago Fire, are the Timbers going to pick him up or somebody else? We'll have to see next time. If you've enjoyed this, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you're new for some reason. If this is the first episode you've seen of my my channel, welcome. All right, we'll see you next time. Have a good one.